got an old man's hand up my ass. The thing is, like, the way these robots walk out here, explained the track system before. There's basically 3 tracks that they follow in each sidewalk, depending on the length, you know, and they can't like improvise real quick. So I had a situation where I wanted to get out of a herd to come over here, but I was gonna have to collide with some robots. So either I got these robots coming this way, they fucking don't, they have no brains. So I got one coming this way, and I saw these other guys coming that way. I'm like, well, if I try to move in front of these people are gonna walk into me. And I said, yeah, I just have to brace for impact, because they're not gonna adjust. They don't know how to do that. So I just had to take a old man's hand up my ass. But hey, you know, the thing I like to do usually is just to kind of stand away from them all and let them do their thing. And then when I see a break in the action, then I go within reason. Like, if I cede the space to them, I'll never move. I'll never get out. So I have to keep going. All right, I think I'm done whining. Maybe not. But let me go over here for a minute. Let me let the storm pass. All right, so yeah, like, what the fuck? What the fuck is with this? Like, I get it. Well, before we even talk about the song itself, this whole project has kind of confused me. When I first started hearing about it, it was supposed to be, it was announced as a reunion album with Andy, because he was eminently on death's door. He had stage 4 colorectal cancer. That's usually pretty harsh. My mom bounced out of that, but I guess it's rare to dodge that once it gets to that stage. Recent news has said that he's somehow cleared of it now. Like, he doesn't have it anymore. So I don't know what the fuck happened there. Was it a prank just so he could derail their whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech? That would be kind of funny. Like, it was a big troll the whole time. So anyway, it went from being a reunion album with Andy, featuring a couple new tracks and a bunch of covers. I figured, well, they figured they're pressed for time here with his survivability rate. So let's get something done in the studio, 2 new songs, and then we'll do some cover songs. I thought it was going to be songs that they liked jointly, or something that they used to play, or just old cover tunes that they wanted to cover with Andy. And a little while later, we got a title called The Mirror for the album. And then it started changing. Then it was going to be past associates, friends, and family members. Warren was going to be on it. Now Rogers was going to be on it. The bassist from Mainskin for some reason. And then all these other people. And then the news of Andy's involvement, it turned from being an album they were making with Andy to he will appear on a few tracks. And what I didn't know until today, that it was a Halloween themed album, which that's just goofy. I don't know, it's just goofy. Now maybe it'll get them a little bit more cachet in the goth clubs. Maybe they were looking to tap that market. But you know, so all the songs are like Psycho Killer, and I'll put them up there. I don't get it. I guess they did a Halloween show that gave them the idea to do this, but it feels a lot like they started an album that was supposed to be a reunion with Andy because he's dying, and then they found out he wasn't dying, and then and he has a new album coming out now too, so it's like he's sort of more just talking about his new album, and they're talking about you know, this album as an all-star album of past associates. So it seemed to be changing. When they first announced it, they gave like this hard release date for October. And they're like, yeah, well, they want to get this done. That guy's he's stage 4. He's not going to be around long, you know. They have to get moving on this. But it seemed like it was it was changing behind the scenes as it went on. So now we come to today, when it just was released via my Spotify, is the new single, Dance Macabre. I heard the name of this track a couple of days ago, and of course, you know, I think Ghost right away, but whatever. And then I see this in my Spotify. In the cover, I have like a thing just like that guards my door. It's more like a doorstop. It's so if some undesirable decides to peek into my house at night, it's like an alarm that's gonna go off. I also have booby traps and barricades, but it's the first line of defense to let me know, get up, grab a weapon, you know. Yeah, I'm a little paranoid, but I tell you, man, it saved me. It saved me so many times being paranoid. It's fucking helped a lot, you know. I'd rather be paranoid than be fucking rolled. You know what I mean? Because I've gotten rolled way too many times. So anyway, enough about that. So the whole vibe of this thing is Halloween, which I'm not crazy about. It just reminds me of the ritual they did in Birmingham with the bull. I know they're involved in all that shit. They have to be. No one gets to that level and they're not. And you can see through their history, I can point out what different things mean. I've never done a deep dive on them with occultism because it just bums me out. They're one of my favorite bands. You know, probably my favorite, I guess, along with Iron Maiden and The Damned, Genesis, lately Killing Joke. But anyway, so this is gonna be tricky. All right, so lately, am I getting the frequency fucking? Yeah, I can't concentrate because I got too many people around me. I'm just fucking gonna go. If I get hit, I get hit. I gotta get out of here. That's why I can't ride the bus. I get on the bus and it's like every radio station is turned on at once. And while I'm only receiving my radio station, it still bleeds through. You know, kind of like when you go on those long car trips and hey, we can get a New York station up here in Vermont. It's that type of thing. I get on a corner like that with a red light where I gotta wait. I fucking start dying inside. So right away, I turn this thing on and it's got a very, very low frequency keyboard part. Like what this stuff is it reminds me of the stuff he was experimenting with, the controller, Nick Rhodes. He did a series of albums with this witch lady where they made all these sort of weird kind of low vibrational fucking instrumental albums. It was like a year ago or a couple years ago. I don't know. I wasn't really into it. I looked at it and said, nah, it's not for me. It's almost like he's taking some of the things he was doing there, and there's almost like a TV Mania kind of thing too. He put it in the song. Now, it sounds fucking evil right away, right? Which is like, oh man. But then the most evil thing of all happens. Hold on, I gotta get people. Oh my God. All right, hold on, go ahead. I gotta get a wall behind my back to talk here because people keep sneaking up on me and I don't like it. This will be fine until Predator comes out of the wall. Then they do the most evil thing of all. They have Simon the Bomb rap. Now, if we fucking learned anything over the years, you don't fucking let Charlie drop rhymes. It just sounds so bad. Now, one thing is, like, he's not great at it. But the other thing is he's got that real English sort of accent, like the white English guy sort of accent, and it just sounds terrible. I mean, it's not... It turns it into a Disney track. It sounds like the song the villain is going to sing to everybody. Well, my name is Simon and I'm here to say this whole track is very, very gay. It just sucks. Like I think the chanting kind of the chorus, that sort of chant they do of what, you know, the Dance Macabre thing, is kind of cool. But yeah, I don't like the whole vibe. I don't like the whole concept. I don't know if I heard this music, you know, I'd be like, well, who is your master? I don't have to ask who your master is. You know who your master is. It's not for me. It's not my thing at all. And it's too bad. There might be some good stuff on it. I like Secret October, and they reworked it into a new track called Secret October 31st. That's another thing about this album. All right, hold on. Let me light this fucking thing. The cigarette is very much part of my security system. So, this is one of those nor fish nor fowl type of albums. It's like, it's a new album, new recordings in the studio, but they're not new songs. It's kind of a compilation. It's kind of a covers album. It's what the British would call a dog's dinner. Like, what the fuck is this? I hate these type of albums, because are you supposed to take them? Usually, here's what happens: if it's good and people like it, it does well, people count it as an album. Like, and then the next album they made. If it's a dog and people don't like it, then it's like, then it ends up like a compilation album, or yeah, and then, you know, by the way, they released this kind of thing. I'm not opposed to the idea of a conceptual album based around Halloween, although I would kind of question whether that's Duran's kind of thing. They've had stuff like that. Night Boat comes to mind. They had a couple spooky little tracks that were great. But I think of Duran, I think of futurism, optimism, hope, sort of cartoon science fiction, Barbarella, escapism. I don't think of, like, you know, evil, the devil, Halloween. It's like a costume, which I guess is appropriate, but I'm not digging it. I've only heard this one track. The other ones could be great. You know, I'm gonna be open-minded about, because I love them, but if you didn't already force me away with that really weird low vibrational fucking keyboard parts, and like, it sounds like the soundtrack to like one of those kid parties, you know. I just don't dig it. And then it's like, on top of it, you got Simon fucking rapping. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You know? I don't know. So I don't need to wait for the third strike. You know what I mean? It's like 1, 2, nope, out. Now, and again, it's kind of weird how they changed this from the reunion album with Andy Taylor to, it's just that it's a Halloween album. And we also have some of our old friends working on it, like Warren. I'm glad Warren's back. They should just let him back in the fucking band. He would make their music better. Although, you know, that last album is perfect. Future Past, as perfect as you're gonna get in this age with Duran. And maybe there's like a fear there of repeating that success, or a self-sabotage thing, because they've been prone to do that. When they had the big success with the wedding album, they fucking shot themselves in the foot with Thank You. The thing is, when you have a successful album, there's only 2 ways to go: greater success, or equal to success, or an album just as good, or the downslide. So how do you prevent that? Well, if you don't make a direct studio album that's in competition with, not in competition, but the next one in the line that will be compared to it, then you kind of sidestep that whole problem. And maybe that's part of what they were trying to do. Maybe there was a lot of things they were trying to do, maybe all the above. But I don't know. I'm gonna, you know, I'm withholding judgment, of course, till I hear more of it. But I don't think I'll listen to this track again, you know, at all. Whatever, it's fine. We'll see how it goes. Waikiki. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm still here. Thanks for dropping by, guys. I know this isn't the usual thing, but Duran news definitely gets cycled into the top of the pile for things that are important to me. You know, you gotta have priorities here. Satanic attacks on the world, new Duran music. It's a seesaw. It's a bit of a seesaw. In the end, right? In the end, ultimately, they're just as of equal importance, because, you know, as I've said here many times, this is just a little test area you're in. A little test area. And it doesn't have a lot to do with you, ultimately. But at the same time, you want to behave right, because what you do here will stick with you for a long time. Although you won't realize it's a long time, because as we've also gone over, time only exists here. So don't worry about that. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.